This week has been very fun and very wild. We saw $480 million worth of calls come into Tesla earlier this week with lows around 234, and since then we had a rally all the way up to highs today of about 250 bucks. In this video, we're going to go over my position that I took on Tesla today that I did end up closing because I completely forgot that deliveries were probably coming out this weekend, so we're also going to do an outlook on those. We're going to go over why I entered my trade, where I think Tesla's going to go within the next couple of days, and then we're going to take some time on black box stocks because it seemed like a lot of you guys in the past couple of videos have loved the fact that I've been talking about flow, how to read the tape a lot more, and there's a lot of unusual options activity that came through today on Microsoft, Square, Shopify, Dell, and I want to go through and show you guys what makes it unusual, but more so how you guys can follow along and use it in your trading or even in your investing. Sometimes I'm following whales who are taking positions 6 to 12 months out from now. But the reason that I hold flow in such a high regard is because while I would love to say that I am the best retail trader known to man, the truth of the matter is that it is very hard to go out every single day and fight against institutional investors, hedge funds, whales, and win. So most of the time, it is better for most people to trade with the trend and invest with the trend, which we talk a lot about here, but more so to follow off of the backs of all of the unusual options activities and real-time data that big money is actually taking. It just makes your life a lot easier. So looking today at Tesla, very good day, pushed up this morning around 9:30. This is that first hour open, ran all the way up to about 254.92. And from there, we did pull back. I took a couple of day trades within the Tesla chat section of our Discord community, which if you guys are not a part of the Discord community, you should definitely go over there and hang out. I'm over there every day with the team. All the other moderators like Rustic, Kula, Angel, we're hanging out. We're trading together. I took 2 day trades today. Did pretty well. Nothing too crazy because I had to go to lunch and I had a meeting, but come hang out, come be part of the group. All of our free trading resources are over there, and we're there trading and just becoming better men and women every single day. If you remember yesterday, we were talking about fair value gaps, and we currently have 2 of them that are sitting here. If you remember yesterday, that was sitting at about 251.95. And we were saying that if we had this big gap up today, that we'd probably end up filling that fair value gap, which did end up occurring. And from there now, it's looking like depending upon how deliveries are, which we're going to go over, we should see Tesla move its way next week back to 257, but really back up to $260. If deliveries do not come out well, we could see a drop back down to 240 and maybe even down to 236. And I also talk a lot about technical analysis and how you should be looking at it not just from the actual patterns, but from a psychological standpoint. This is a 4-hour chart on Tesla, and you can see that these are the 2 candles which we ended up having today. The first half of the day trading here, and the second half of the day trading here. And if these 2 candles do not tell you indecision on the horizon, then nothing else will. And so a lot of times we will have these technical setups and these technical patterns that are happening into something like a catalyst. And if you look at it, we have this fair value gap. If earnings is great, we should fill the fair value gap, which happens most of the time. We will move our way back up to, I'm sorry, if deliveries is great. I think I said earnings, but deliveries. If we push up to 260, that would also form our head and shoulders, which we've been looking at. And then from there, if we're unable to hold, the next move would be back down to 240, which is what I believe will probably end up happening over the next couple of days. And now I did end up taking that position today, which we'll take a look over on my X account. Posted 2 hours ago, plus 5 Tesla November 17th calls. 250 calls was my strike. Average price $17.95. So it was a pretty big position. I said this is not financial advice, obviously. And then I ended up closing this out because I actually forgot that we had deliveries coming out. And while I do think that Tesla will probably push to 260, the fact that deliveries are in the equation is not something that's worth it. And it goes to show you that somebody who's been doing this as long as I have for nearly 9 years, wrapped up in my day-to-day life, running the company, trading with the community, managing my multiple portfolios and my day trades, I even get lost in when specific is coming out. So luckily, I did end up closing my position for about a 10% profit. I was very happy about that. And we'll see what ends up happening over the weekend and what ends up happening with delivery numbers. During the last earnings call, Elon Musk warned that Q3 2023 might be different. He did say that production will most likely be down due to factory shutdowns and upgrades. A lot of people are very bearish on these delivery numbers. So normally it's like if they give great guidance and then they miss it, the stock will crap the bed. However, if it's like this case where he gives poor guidance and then they come out with something that's not terrible, that would be enough of a catalyst to drive Tesla back up to maybe 260, 270. So when production is down, deliveries are often down too. Last quarter, Tesla produced 479,700 vehicles and delivered 466,140 of them. Now with deliveries resulted this week, many analysts are locking in their expectations and it's all over the place. Barrett says 493,200, Deutsche Bank at 440, RBC Capital Markets 462, and Troy Teslike at 442,000. Delivery numbers might be bad overall, but it might be better than expected, which would definitely be enough to drive Tesla back up into the 260s. Now, big money has been very quiet for the past couple of weeks, but I want to share with you guys the fact that as we're starting to see these bottoms, we're seeing a lot more unusual options activity that is happening on a daily basis, specifically these gold alerts you can see here, which are called alpha golds. We post these alpha gold alerts and all of this flow within our Discord community. It's within the flow section. And if you guys are a part of the Discord, you get access to all of this, plus all of the premium and all of our trades for free your first month. But we post all of this flow in here, and all of these alpha golds are very big positions, which will end up having usually bigger swing positions and bigger swing plays. And so what I like to do is I will watch to see if on these big dips while the market's still trending up, if big money is actually buying into them. If we're coming down to a major support level and big money is not buying into the support, we want nothing to do with it because the chances of it just cratering through that level are pretty high. But if as we're moving our way down into a support and we're watching the market and we're watching all of the flow come through and it's starting to look bullish and they're buying into the dip, well, that's a pretty damn good sign because it means that they believe that there's going to be a bounce. And so there's a couple of big ones. The three that I really want to share today were Microsoft, SQ, and Dell. Now, if you're somebody who isn't a full-time trader, it doesn't matter. All of this is applicable whether you're using this towards long-term investments and you're watching to see if big money is buying leap options in the direction of your investment, or you can use this as a trader every single day watching the tape because it's one of the best things you can do. All these other indicators that you see all over the place that have their place and that they are great, a lot of them are going off of lagging information. The only thing that you really have in real time is going to be the tape/flow, which you can see here, as well as volume and price action, because all of that is coming in real time. We're going to take a look now at SQ, and this was the flow that came through. You can see they all hit within a very short amount of time. The ones I want to isolate are going to be right here. These came through very, very close to each other. They try to not get picked up. Let's say both of these orders came through, which black box stocks did catch and I was able to catch. But if they would have hid those in 6 or 7 or 8 different types of orders, they probably would have been undetected. If they would have done both of those orders in one, so one $2.5 million order, they definitely would have been detected. So the first order came through at about 11:12, which is here on the left side of your screen. And then the next one came in at about 11:14. The biggest thing that you really want to be looking for is size, time, and urgency. Size, time, and urgency. Important because 95% of flow is worthless. Just like 95% of any indicators that you have are worthless. It's just people trying to sell you shit. So what we need to see here is size. Well, we have a $1.48 million order and a $1 million order, which is definitely enough size. Next thing that we want to see is time. I don't want to see this being something that's going to expire today. We have about 17 days till expiration. So that's marking one of the two. And now I also need to see urgency. We can see urgency is by looking at the details page and looking at the last letter here. And if this is too much for you guys, we do all this for you in our Discord community, so don't worry, and I break it down. A means above the ask, and AA means above the ask. And this is important because we want some motivated buyer or a motivated seller. We want somebody who's just like, I just want the position filled. I don't really care specifically about what the price is. I'm not going to be a heckler. I just want to get my $2.5 million into SQ as soon as possible. That is very unusual. If we were to go through and actually isolate this option, you are going to be able to see in a chart form how freaking unusual this is. These blue little dots you're going to see down here, they should really be bars, but there's actually so little open interest normally. These are going to be your open interest, and the open interest is seriously just the amount of contracts that are currently being held. So at this moment, before today, we had open interest of 811. So that means 811 people are holding those contracts. And then you're going to see the volume, which is going to be this orange bar. When the day ended, 837 contracts were traded. Well, that's a little bit unusual. Usually when the volume is higher than the open interest, it's something to take a look at. Well, today is a prime example of it, basically being on steroids. Our open interest this morning was 1,102, but the volume today alone was 9,668. 10 times the amount of volume that we got yesterday and 10 times the open interest that we have today, which is very, very unusual, which therefore would bring us over to take a look at the 4-hour chart on SQ. And as you guys are going to see here, pretty decent setup. This has been dropping. We have a price gap up here at 57, another price gap here at 51.18, and a fair value gap sitting here at about $48, which I think this might actually be on the daily. There we go. I charted this out on the daily. And then you're going to see we have a week low. Yesterday, we saw some flow, which I posted to my Discord community and told them we had a big bounce off of 43. And then today, after that big doji, we get even more buys on SQ, which is what we just showed you. So the fact that we're coming down into a support and big money is buying the living crap out of it is more than enough reason for me to be like, you know what, this is worth throwing money at. I'm not sure if it's going to be right, but it's definitely worth throwing money at. And on top of that, you throw in the fact that all gaps need to be filled, which they all don't, but most of the time they do. And most of the time, fair value gaps fill. So we're not just saying like, oh, you know what, the stock is oversold. We're just going to buy it because whatever. Right? Like we have a real criteria here of things that we're looking for before we even put our capital at risk. And if you're not trading like this, unfortunately, you're probably not trading correctly. And I didn't do this for a very, very long time. But the truth of the matter is, we're not just randomly purchasing because something's overbought. We're purchasing because we have so many factors that are telling us that this is a good position. And if it works out, great. But if it doesn't, who cares? And it's the same way with long-term investing. Who cares? Right? Like you cannot be emotionally attached to trades like this. Like big money's not emotionally attached to trades. They're trading with people's retirement funds. They don't give a shit with pensions. Like they don't care. And you should treat your money in that sense too, because all it is just printed from the sky, bro. Like it sucks, but like it's just we kill ourselves for money and they print it from the sky. And so it's like you can't have an attachment to it. I know it's easier said than done. And I've said 100 times, I come from nothing, right? But you have to be that way. Looking at this and how I would enter, sitting here at about 44.32, and then I'd be looking to take profits up around 52. The take profit level would be up at $58, where this order block currently is. But with the 11/17 expiration, this person's probably going to hold these for a week. So they're probably more so looking for the move up to 48.20, which is still an 8.5% return. And then setting a stop loss on a lower low at 42.47 and just letting the trade pan out. You know, if it's shares, max 10% of your account, like absolute max. And if you're going with options, I usually do something like 5%. A lot of buying coming into Microsoft. Big buying coming into this support level. This is a very, very good sign. When we see buying coming into the support level, look at all these bullish order blocks coming in. 310 to 305. We're probably going to see Microsoft pull up to 333. And then Dell. Dell is a really odd one, and I'm not taking this big push up after earnings. This is highly unusual. And as we said before, AA, which you'll see here, that's what we're really looking for. That's showing above the ask. That's even better than what we saw on SQ, because AA is saying, fill me above what the highest order is right now. I do not care at all. Get me into this position. I'm not personally taking a position on this because I just don't think the risk versus reward warrants me taking a position. I hope this video helped, guys. If you stay till the end of these and you're in here 16 minutes on a Friday night, like, first of all, you're a savage. Chances of you being a successful trader, a successful entrepreneur, and just a successful human being is honestly so high. Like, to get somebody's attention for more than 30 seconds on TikTok is very hard, and companies spend billions of dollars to do it. You guys stay here every single day because you want to learn more. You guys want to develop as individuals, and you guys want to take your life into your own hands. 85% of businesses fail. 90% of traders fail. 95% of people don't try. 95% of people will watch, and if I don't give them the answers within the first minute, they're gone. I'm not there for them. That's not who we're here for, right? We're here for the very, very, very select few. This YouTube channel is siphoned to just get the most dedicated individuals around me as I can. And that's what I like to use this as. So guys, thanks for all the support. If you guys want to trade with me every day, go to our Discord community and you go to upgrade. You get access to all my trades, all of our trading bots. You get to live stream with me a couple days a week. You guys get access to all of our PDFs, all of our courses. We have a shitload of courses coming next year. I'm giving it all away for free as well. Go check it out, guys. This week we actually had a killed it with day trading today too. We offer day trading, swing trading. Like, I understand 90% of people here have jobs, and I don't want you guys stressed about market day. Like, making money is not the priority here. Like, trading correctly, living a life that puts you in balance, like, not let's just sit here and hold hands, but like a life that's not full of stress, like living a life that you can spend with your family, living a life of dignity, living a life of freedom. Like, that's what we're here for. Like, that's what all of this is. Profits come to the ones who are patient. I hope you had a good week. I'll see you guys next time.